Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we will be flipping through my bullet journals for the year of 2025. This is very exciting because I feel like I've finally settled into a good planning habit and routine, and I really enjoyed this year of planning. I've been planning for 6 years now, since 2019. So this is always interesting to create and share because it shows a lot about my progress, art-wise, creativity-wise, and journaling-wise, of course. And this year is especially interesting because I used white dot grid paper, and even though I just said I've been planning for 6 years, none of those years were done in a traditional bullet journaling notebook, which has 160 GSM white dot grid paper or dot grid white paper, because I tend to gravitate towards sketchbooks with blank pages and usually colors other than white paper. So I've used black for a few years. I did gray paper in 2024 and I experimented with white dot grid, and I'll be moving into a new paper color for next year as well. So this is one of the ways that I maintain the newness of journaling for me, is by using a different paper color and being excited about the possibilities of art on that specific paper color and medium, and all of the fun things that I could do in a new paper color. How many times am I gonna say planning, paper color, and journaling in this video? Too many. So yes, it's one of the ways that I maintain the novelty in journaling. So I used these two notebooks. This one is from String and Space. This one is from Buki, and admittedly I had a better experience in this one compared to this, and we can talk about all of that in depth and detail, maybe in another video if you're interested. But for now, we're just gonna flip through them and take a look at all of the spreads. So let's start with the one from String and Space. Is it? Yeah, String and Space. So this one I used from January to June, and then the other one is from June to December. This is how I like to separate my year, although I've been trying to fit the entire year in a one notebook. That hasn't happened yet, but let's see next year. This is the first spread in this notebook, and for the yearly spreads I decided to go with an antiques theme, hence I named my notebook Anne, and I have an entire setup video of this yearly spread, so I'll have it linked in the iCard up above and also in the description box if you would like to go back and see it. But I painted some antique elements with watercolors and included some scrapbooking elements, this script print, this vintage wallpaper, and also this lace washi tape, or PET tape more accurately. I went with a very organic font for me, which is calligraphy, and I added some sparkle stickers and some fairy stickers, and they are small because I use nail art stickers, which is I find easier to use. So I had my key. I don't usually include my key. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But this time, because I had such a perfect illustration, I decided to add it here. And I'm not sure what happened over time, but the white parts of my painting got tinged blue for some reason. Maybe because I used a white paint pen on top of the watercolor, or maybe it's the watercolor. To be honest, I thought it was the paper, but I created this illustration on two different tabs of dot grid paper, and they gave me the same result. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But yes, we have the future log. I drew a handheld mirror, and I created the future log for the entire year. However, I did not use it for the second half. I was really hoping I was gonna fit an entire year into this one notebook, but I didn't really do any measuring or planning to make that happen. I just hoped that it would happen naturally, and it did not. And I'm sort of glad that it didn't, because I had a little bit of a hard time with this notebook. We have my future me problems with a watch, and I'm definitely gonna change the title of this page for my next Bujo. Then we have my goals and intentions. The idea was I'm gonna have 4 for the first half and then 4 for the second half of the year. And these, to save space, I created this layout where I can pull one up and flip it to reveal the intention. For this one, I did not write an intention. I'm not sure if I wrote for the rest. Honestly, I never flipped back to this. I never kept up with these goals, and I don't even know what I put for intentions or otherwise. So yeah, it's a nice idea. And I created these paper things that I'm having such a hard time using myself, using A4 printer paper. But yeah, I put a bell, because you ring a bell when you achieve a goal. Then my finances, I'm gonna flip through it quickly because I don't necessarily want to have those information or that data on the internet. But yeah, I did not use it for the rest of the year, the last quarter of the year. And here I was supposed to have a summary to categorize my spending, because I'm interested in doing that, and I have been interested in doing that, but I never follow through. Probably because I don't set it up, and so I never do. But yeah. Then we have my period tracker. I did not use that. And then we have my project tracker, which I used for a good while and then fell off. I forgot about it, and then I moved to a new notebook, and then yeah, I never got back to it. And I put a picture of notebooks because, or an illustration of notebooks, because my projects are mostly notebook based. Then we have my freelance tracker, and then we get to January. So again, for January, I have a full setup video, I think a couple of videos, because of the whole issue that I had with my notebook at the beginning of the year, and I had to repeat half of or part of this setup in a new journal, which is this one. But yes, I did a winter cabins theme for January, and for each month in this notebook I printed pictures, like highlights from the month, random pictures that I took. I wasn't taking pictures intentionally for this, but I will go through my gallery at the end of the month, pick some pictures that I want to highlight, I will print them and create a small collage here, add some washi tape and maybe some captions and such. And I print them in black and white because as said, I don't take pictures intentionally, so they don't end up being in the same color gradient, we could say. And so to make them cohesive and make myself like this spread, I create everything in black and white. So yeah, this is the calendar and dashboard. And the weeklies. The weekly spread is one of my favorite. I should do a ranking because this definitely would be on the top. If I were to do a ranking, I will rank cover pages, and then I will rank like weeklies, and then I will rank my favorite overall. So multi-layered, I guess. We have my monthly in review, and then my reading summary. I think in 2024 I was doing just a reading log, and then having a reading stats in my January in review. But then in 2025, I really liked the idea of doing a reading summary thing with like a small pie chart with my favorite reads and my book stats and such. So I printed these. The one that has a border around it is a reread, and the one that has a heart is one that I like. Depending on the size of the heart is how much I like it. But yeah, I read a lot in January. Then we have February with a cherry blossom theme. This one was a favorite of mine. I used acrylic paint pens, which is really exciting. We have my month in pictures. I bought some Casablancas and Calla Lilies, I think they're called, for like self-love day for me and my family. Set up my bujo, bought my first car, etc, etc. Here is this is what I was talking about, having like a book log. I used to do just this without any stats or pictures or something. So this is my dashboard and calendar for February. And here I reached 100 in YouTube, which is funny because now I'm at 270, which happened over the next 10 months, I guess, which is very nice. We love to see growth. Then my weeklies, which I created in one single page. I would love to revisit this again next year. Then we have my reading stats, and then my month in review. For February, I really like to do a self-care bingo, or a bingo in general of things I would like to get done. And usually I started in February, but I don't mind if it extends beyond into the following months. But because of self-care day or self-love day on the 13th of February, I usually create one of these. And yeah, I did not end up hitting bingo or in anything, or maybe it needs to be updated, but yeah. Then we get to March. I participated in March Under the Stars, which was hosted in the Jashi Current Discord community. I love this theme. This is the first of a predominantly blue theme this year, and a lot of things happened in March, admittedly. This is my calendar and my dashboard, as well as some trackers here. Then the weeklies, actually this is the first weekly. The paint ended up bleeding through in this paper, which is one of the things I don't like. And if you saw, there is a lot of warping for this paint, even though I used gouache, which doesn't tend to cause warping as bad as watercolor. And then this breakage is one of the things that bugs me most, because I don't think your notebooks are supposed to do that, and I'm not sure what caused it, but yeah. Then we get to my March in review. I love this. I use stickers here, and I would like to do that again. And then for my March in books, I actually ended up just reading the Quran from start to finish, and also watched a few movies because I was staying in a hospital with nothing to do in March. Then we get to April. This is such a classic Bujo theme. I think everybody's done hot air balloons at some point, and funnily enough, this is also one of my most viewed videos, I believe, which is a little surprising because it's such a simple theme, especially compared to some of the more elaborate themes that I've had before this month and after it as well. But yeah, some of the highlights here. And then yeah, this was a simple one, and I have a walkthrough of it, but I didn't set it up because I was not really feeling the journaling. I was getting a little burnt out, especially after March, goodness. But I love this theme. I love the weeklies. They're probably my favorite. The weeklies are my favorite when I put a lot of effort in them. But yeah, this is my dashboard, or sorry, this is my review. And then I read a few books and also watched a few movies here. Then we get to May. May is one of my absolute favorite months of this year because it holds a lot of memories, but also theme-wise, I really like this. I was waiting all year to do this theme, so it was a lot of fun, and it's very colorful, which is very unlike me, but I love it. And I used sandpaper. I forgot that I used sandpaper in this theme. So a lot of things. My brother got engaged, I got a new job, we went to dinner a few times, a lot of good things. So this is the calendar with some dashboard underneath it, and this illustration has some dashboards underneath it as well. And I do have this in a video setup. I think I mentioned that. But yeah, I love how this theme turned out. This was a failed spread, so I tested what I wanted to do here, and I didn't really like it. So I keep it because, I don't know, to show you that my ideas don't always work out. But yeah, it's not used. I love the pop of orange. And here is my review, and also my May in Media. I titled it May in Media thinking I will continue watching a few movies like how I did in April and March, but lo and behold, when I plan for it, it doesn't happen. So yeah. Black hearts signify a classic favorite. Then I have this page for some projects. I wanted to summarize some things, and then also my sister's projects for uni. I'm helping her, I am her tutor, so yeah, just a simple layout. And then this is the finals prep, like schedule and plan for my sister. I used to do this for myself every semester for midterms and finals, so I like doing it even if it's just for my own reference. Then we have my packing list. We were taking a trip in June, so I put the packing list here to reference it when I am packing again, like coming back home, so that I don't forget anything. And the scratched off parts are things that I didn't take. So yeah, this is mine and this is my sister's, because I pack everybody's suitcases in this house. Then we have June, again, a lot of pictures. I went to Syria, my home country and my hometown for the first time. It was a lot of fun. And I created a hummingbird theme for June. And I used all purple and also used these pressed flowers, which are the accent flowers that I got with my own white lily back in February for Self-Love Day. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love this theme. I did one illustration, but I used some accent stuff and it turned out very fun. It did add bulk to the notebook, but it's the last theme, so I didn't really care much. Oh yeah, this page is a lot thicker because I don't know if you know this about this notebook, but do you see how the first page does not open all the way because it's glued to the page before it? That happened occasionally between my monthly themes. So it happened in March, it happened somewhere else as well, and here again in June. So I stuck the pages together because I didn't want to rip them apart. Here's the books that I read, but I didn't do any stats or anything. I just stuck the covers. And that's the last thing in this notebook. However, we do have a few pages left, quite a few actually. And because I didn't really enjoy painting in this notebook, I didn't want to continue. I could have fit a couple of more months in here, but I'm not about doing that. I don't really like it. So these are going to be for when I need access white dot grid paper. Maybe if I want to do some weekly layouts with white paper on top of a different paper color, and I'm not gonna paint on top of them, so it's fine. Like, the paper is good, it's just I didn't have a great experience with it painting. But then we have a few layouts in the back. This one was some notes that I created in my new job, and then this is I was planning gifts for my sister-in-law for her engagement to my brother. So this is the gift that I got her for that occasion. And then I was also seeing the viability of getting her a makeup case for her birthday, but it ended up being a little out of budget, so we ended up rethinking it with the family. So yeah, but it's still here for reference. Then we have this page. Me and my cousin were playing around with pens and signatures and things, because it turns out he is actually also a pen enthusiast, so that was a lot of fun. And then this is my reference sheet for when I'm teaching and tutoring my sister. I keep track of the number, date of the session and what we covered during this, and also once I get paid I block it off, and just to know what were the sessions that I got paid for at any point in time. We have a little bit of a graveyard here. These are my Faber-Castell connector pens. I swatched them here to get an accurate representation of the colors, and these are the pens that I used in my maze theme. Then we have this, which I call scribbles that matter, because these are important scribbles. They determine how I'm gonna go about the theme and what colors I'm gonna choose. So you can see it clustered. This was for February. This was for March. This is for May. This is for April. These are for June. So yeah, But that is it for this theme. I have a few things here, like some pictures and sprigs from Syria and such, but yeah, we're gonna keep that enclosed in there and move on to the next notebook. So we're gonna put that to the side and bring this one to the front. I love this notebook. I love everything about it. As you can see, I tried to match the notebook even though it's from two different brands. This is black leather, has rose gold embossing on the front with a teeny tiny star, and also rose gold gilding with some star motif for this one. This one, it has like a moon, ballerina, and stars embossed in rose gold as well. A spine cover, and this design is mirrored on the gilding as well. So the moon phases. The cover continues on the back, which I really like. I love the fabric, the feel of this. It's not vegan leather, but I'm not sure what it is exactly. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna see is an empty space. I didn't try my name here. I don't have a cover page. I actually did not set up the beginning spreads until like September or October it was, and I did like basic headers just so that I can have somewhere to write. So the early pages are empty, and the reason for that is I was traveling to Syria in the middle of the new journal planning season, and so I set up I set up June in this notebook, but then I set up July and August in this one as well and took both with me. And so I didn't have time to set up the beginning spreads, and I thought that I was gonna do that once I'm back, and then I never did it. So yeah, we have the future log with nothing. We have my future me problems, which I did utilize some bit. We have my goals and intentions, again nothing. Finances, nothing. My freelance log, which I created because I actually needed it, so it's here. And then projects, never came back to this. And then an empty page just in case before we get to my July setup. So again, I was going back to my hometown for the first time, so I did my theme based on that. It was also the Scribbles and Suitcases theme event done in the Jashikern Discord community, so this was my ode to that, I guess. So we have the postcard, I think, frame, forgot what they are called, the outline of Syria's map, the Syrian flag. This is the clock tower in my hometown, an airplane even though we went by car, some suitcases, and this plant that is native to my hometown. I have an entire walkthrough of this theme, which, as I've been saying, will be linked. So yeah, this is my calendar, this is my dashboard. This is actually olive oil, not olive oil, this is olive branches that I've been meaning to stick somewhere, but I haven't found the perfect spot for it yet, so it stays here. And as I said, we traveled by car, so this was from my house location to my hometown's location. These are the weeklies. I'm gonna blur some pictures, but I printed a lot of pictures for this theme. And then this is when we came back. And this is July in review. And I thought about doing my reading here. I'm not sure if I read at all, and then maybe pictures or something, but I never got around to it. So I kept an empty page just in case, actually a couple. I don't remember why I kept those. Oh, I wanted to print all of the pictures that I took in Syria and make some collages of them, and the plan was to never show you those because it's gonna have a lot of my pictures and my family members' pictures, but yeah, I haven't done that yet. Then we have August with the second blue theme for this year, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I did a Leo theme with like dark blue sky, and I really like how it turned out. I have a full setup video of it on my channel. And I used all gold for this setup with, I love the tabs. I love the tabs. And funnily enough, I did the same weekly layout and tabs in July of 2024. So I was inspired by that. So this was very simple to do beyond the two first illustrations. And this is my August in review. I created an August in media, but I was struggling to get back into the habit of filling my journal, so I never actually filled this consistently. My issue is I haven't taken pictures of them yet for Instagram before the pen, and so I would never actually use them until I took pictures, and I kept delaying that because it's not a high priority, even though it sort of was. And then I never recorded the information anywhere else. So yeah. And then I was supposed to create a spread here for my 24th birthday, and I never did. Then we get to September. I always go for pink for September for some reason, but I created these beautiful pink knees. So yeah, and I like the font that I used here. I used acrylic paint pens as well, which is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite calendars ever. I love how this turned out. We have my dashboard, my weeklies, because I wasn't filling them and didn't have much to put. I decided to make them condensed, which they were. And then I never ended up completing my September in review spread because I didn't have the illustration done, so I tried to prioritize it, but also not really. Then I decided to dip my toes in the Change Your Life challenge that Jess holds. And so I put the purpose, I put the goals. I didn't end up creating the action plan for the goals, but I did create my weekly routine schedule, which I've been following consistently for a while. So yeah. Then we get to October, and this is one of my favorite themes, and this is where I started getting back into the habit of planning better than I've been for the past couple of months. So I did this cover page, and I love how it turned out. And then I actually set the rest of the spreads in a very chill, sort of real-time plan with me on my channel. So yeah, this is the calendar. And then my dashboard / weeklies are joined. I love how this turned out. I added the pumpkins for like my lunch tracker, which was really fun, but I didn't add it to all the spreads, I think. So yeah, and then here is where I was sort of summarizing what I've been doing towards each of my goals for the Change Your Life challenge and such. This is my monthly review, and I don't believe I read many books, so. Then we have an empty spread before we go to my November. And November is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite cover pages ever. And I have a full setup video of it that I've posted not too long ago because I was too busy to get it out on time. It took a lot of time to edit. This is the calendar. I also love this one. And then we get to the weeklies, which are in this Dutch door. And I used craft paper here. And then we have my dashboard. The one time when I didn't give myself a lot of time or a lot of space for my dashboard, I ended up needing a lot of space for my dashboard. Then November in review. We're not gonna talk about this. I left a spread just in case. Actually two, I can't remember why. And then we get to my December setup, which is my most recent video. And I absolutely love this. I'm having a lot of fun with this journaling setup. I've been using it consistently. I like the events. This month is heavy on the events. So yeah. This is the, dashboard. And then my weeklies. And this is where we are, halfway through the month almost. And then this is my review. I fill it as I go so that I don't forget things. And then we have a couple of pages. So this is my sister's finals study exam, here again for my own reference. And then I will be making a spread to plan my next journal and my next year of journaling. And then we have a few pages left as well. But if I ever want to paint on white dot grid paper, this is where I'm gonna pull that from. We also have this one, my 2026 bullet journal planning. So yeah, I did end up creating it. I forgot, but yeah. Then we have this. This is a summary of all of my online orders because I ended up ordering a lot and it was getting confusing on who paid and etc, etc. I don't remember why. Oh, for October I wanted to test if I should color the edges with black, and I ended up not liking that. And then we have my sister's tutoring log here. And then some scraps here, test pages, and this is the graveyard and scribbles that matter. And yeah, this is everything in my journal right now. I'm really looking forward to next year's journaling, year of journaling, I guess. And yeah, please let me know what you think. Give me all your thoughts, all your hopes for the next year. How many years have you been bullet journaling? Are you new? Are you a veteran? Which theme that I've showcased or maybe spread was your favorite? I would love to interact with you over in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.